Good day to you, filming live from Dunbar Parish Church. We are here at the church on the hill to find out a bit more about its history, and in particular a time when the church almost disappeared forever. So follow me and let's take a look around. So the first thing you notice when you come to this church is that the church is on top of a hill. What a great place for getting a fantastic view of the sea, the hills and the medical centre. This, however, is not the first church that was on this site. If we had a time machine like Doctor Who's TARDIS, we could go back in time, and if we went back as far as 1342, there'd be another church here. That's been knocked down. Forward wind to the 1700s, and we discovered that the church they had then was a mess. Its design and poor state of repair earned it the description as one of the worst churches in Scotland. Apparently they had trouble with damp and stuff like that, which basically meant it was falling apart. Not just falling apart, but sinking as well. Nobody wants to be sitting in a church on a cold December night and it starts to sink. Definitely not this reporter. In the early 1800s, the old church came down, and in 1821, this one was built in its place. But they weren't 100% sure where they were going to put it. They actually considered where the railway station is now. Anyway, they decided to stick with the existing location and built it here, using stones that came up from an old quarry at Bower House. And over the years, a few extra bits were made to make the building look even more splendid and even bigger. And hence, we have this building standing here today. Now I say that this church has stood here ever since, but putting it on the hill not only gives you a lovely view of the medical centre, but it leaves you wide open to the full effect of the weather. Over the years, the weather has caused this church no end of problems. In 2019, loads of money was spent repairing the stonework. The wind, rain, ice and cold had caused so much damage that the sandstone was starting to wear away. Being on top of a hill during a storm is a bit risky too, and in 1944, on April 27th, disaster struck. Well, actually, lightning struck, and it damaged a lot of the roof, as well as destroying the masonry. But the church recovered, and the people here enjoyed 40 years of having no major problems. But all that was to dramatically change one Saturday night in 1987. It was the Saturday after Holiday. People were getting ready to return to work after the Christmas holidays. Celtic had thrashed Hamilton Accies 8-3, Hibs 3-1 victors against Falkirk, Hearts 3-0 against Clydebank. At home, families gathered to watch TV shows like Heidi High, Bergerac and the Paul Daniels Magic Show. As they munched through the last of the quality streets and scoffed the turkey sandwiches, up in the roof of the parish church, an electrical fault created a spark. Hidden by the roof tiles, the spark turned into flame, and the flame into a furnace. The heat began to pierce the roof, and quickly the howling winter's wind blew the flames and fueled them more. By now the furnace was visible from the outside. The sorry sight of the burning kirk could be seen for miles around. Fire crews raced to the scene and tried all they could to extinguish the flames. But it was a lost cause. The roof collapsed onto the wooden pews and the fire started to spread throughout the whole building. But in the light of the morning it was clear. Everything but these 4 surrounding walls had been engulfed by the flames. Heartbroken worshippers arrived on Sunday morning thinking, is this the end of our church here in Dunbar? 160 years of Dunbar church history gone up in smoke.